So you mentioned PDN and doing your copper pours for better PDN. Like, what other kind of physics problems have you addressed, and what kind of physics constraints are in the back end models?
Yeah, I mean, so to make it very explicit, when you come and use Quilter, everything is shown, right? So when you upload your board, we take you through the circuit comprehension process, and the purpose of that process is to understand effectively what exactly is the signal in every pin. Right, and there's some subset of like critical signal types that we are capable of understanding, and we'll take you through those. And by omission, anything that's missing is not there, right? So as an example, we have a way to identify that you have a high current in some part of your subcircuit, but we don't have a way to identify as of today a high voltage. So the fact that you don't see a high voltage means that model isn't there, and it's not going to consider it. Now, you do that on the setup side, and then after Quilter runs, Quilter also gives you a design review, like a report of like, against all the constraints you gave us, precisely what did we check, and did we satisfy it or did we miss it, right? And so for something like a high current, it'll be looking at, frankly, just the IPC formulas of like how thick does the copper need to be to reach no more than a certain temperature increase. For a differential pair, you want to do checks like making sure the impedance is right, the coupling length is good, that you don't go over a ground plane split, so on and so forth. And so effectively today, to keep all of the reinforcement learning fast and all the iteration engines fast, we reduce everything into geometry checks. Right, much like a PCB designer would. And then for high current, for switching converters, for crystals, for bypass caps, for power, and maybe one or two other things I'm forgetting, there's like 4 or 5 individual checks that are just distance, width, length, separation. They get listed out and verified.